Hello everyone, this is Fantasy Ask, and welcome back to Season 2 of Royal Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we were just settling into a brand new season. We were in New Leaf, we were taking a look at where the cats are at, their family trees, relationships to one another, basically reminding ourselves of where we left off and who we left off with. So we are continuing the story in this episode. It is now Moon 61. We are in the second turn of New Leaf. Quickly checking in on the on the leader's den. We still have all our alliances. So nice, very nicely into an age of peace and maintaining that age of peace. Let's go check out our events. Okay, Flailstorm no longer has a yellow cough, which is wonderful. We don't need cats dying. Magpie has recovered from birthing her litter, which is wonderful. Inkfeather, meanwhile, was climbing a tree when she fell. Luckily, she was only bruised by the accident. So, we've been having some recoveries, but one of our cats got a bit too excitable, climbed a tree, and then fell, which is not really good because I think we need every able-bodied cat to be going out on patrols. Plus, Inkfeather is our real physician, so if she actually gets hurt and can't help out the other cats, that's not going to be too good for us. Frostfade, meanwhile, can walk and move without pain. His sprain must have healed, which is wonderful. Now, I'm actually thinking that maybe Inkfeather climbed a tree, like we saw, I think, in patrols in the last episode. Maybe she climbed a tree to gather, like, important leaves for the medicine cat den, because she's using these ingredients or these herbs to help cats like Flailstorm and Magpie and Frostfade. So maybe that's what she was doing. Maybe she wasn't playing around. She was probably trying to get resources and then she fell from the tree. I'm sorry, Inkfeather, I doubted you. You were probably very hard at work. Okay, so that is what we have for the main events. How the cat's doing. As you can see, pretty much everyone is in good spirits. Now, Flailstorm, by the way, has finally become a senior at 120 moons old. So, look at him. He's got a new sprite, which is adorable. He has retained his childishness, I think, from when he was younger. Is a great kid sitter. But yeah, this is Flailstorm. But I am hoping that with the extra cats we're going to have available to us, maybe... I suppose, it's still like 2 patrols, but fingers crossed, within the story itself. More cats, more eyes, maybe they'll come across outsiders or potential servants for us. But okay, let's dive to the medicine cat den. Finally something! Well, you know what? Last episode, there was nothing in the medicine den log, and we were wondering whether Inkfeather was working or not. But now she's hard at work. Flailstorm was given lungwort as treatment for yellow cough, and then he recovered from that. Magpie was given moss as treatment for recovering from birth, and she managed to recover from that. Quillrunner was given juniper as treatment for running nose, which I think he got in the last episode. Frostfade was given elder leaves as treatment for sprain. There we go. And then Frostfade, his sprain healed. Maybe that's what she was doing, because he healed from his sprain after she fell off the tree. She was probably trying to grab some elder leaves. But I also think we grabbed elder leaves during the patrol in the last episode. And then Inkfeather gathered time this moon. Okay, wonderful. So yeah, definitely trying to prove us wrong. She was, from the last episode, she was working. She's working, guys. Okay, let's check out relationships. King Fernstar's feelings are hurt by something Frostfade said, but Frostfade's apology is half-hearted. King Fernstar got a bunch of cats up for morning stretches, they didn't like it. Quillrunner compliments King Fernstar on something he was self-conscious about. When Scorchmoss panics about something, she thinks of Bearpelt to feel better. Scorchmoss thinks Inkfeather is a very good listener. Scorchmoss believes in Icicle Speck's version of events when something happens and the clan doubts him. After Ghostfeather finished his food, Icicle Speck noticed he made a mess. Shining Stripe accuses Flailstorm of lying about something Flailstorm has no reason to lie about. Flailstorm asks for the last of Foxclaw's fresh kill, but Foxclaw says no. A lot of negativity in the clan lately, I'm noticing. Shining Stripe and Flailstorm make each other laugh. Shining Stripe, King Fernstar, and Foxclaw had a nice talk while eating. Shining Stripe thinks Freeze Kid is a very good listener. Flurfreckle nods politely as Quillrunner passes by. Foxclaw flicked some sand over Flurfreckle's fresh kill while she was eating. Bearpelt wishes he looked more like King Fernstar. Okay. Bearpelt doesn't think there's ever a dull moment with Foxclaw. Freezekid admits that Magpie did something clever, some more mother-son bonding. Magpie and Freezekid laugh about something small together. Oh, it makes my heart feel so full when I see these two spending time with each other. Inkfeather thinks Icicle Speck has interesting things to talk about. After completing a chore, Freezekid reports to Inkfeather. Quillrunner struggles to make sense of something trivial Ghostfeather said. Quillrunner can't help but smile, seeing Inkfeather smile. Now that is something entirely new that I don't think we've seen before. Quillrunner, I think he's got romances going on with Icicle Speck. He's actually, I think, in love with Icicle Speck, but Icicle Speck is in a relationship with Shining Stripe, who is Quillrunner's former mentor and his uncle. So that's kind of like a forbidden romance almost. But Quillrunner also, I think, has a bit of a crush on Magpie, who we know is mated to Flailstorm, but I don't think their relationship, from what I remember at the end of season 1, is going too well. They had a disagreement about kits. And now it seems as though Quillrunner has kind of been noticing Inkfeather, who is mated to the king and is the king's consort. And actually, I'm pretty sure out of all the cats in the clan, Inkfeather is the most in love. And she is the most in love with the king, who I'm not sure returns a lot of her feelings. He doesn't treat her as well as she should be treated. But maybe Quillrunner notices some of this, and he kind of gets happy seeing Inkfeather be happy. But Quillrunner, why can't you find a cat who's not committed to another cat? Why, Quillrunner? Frostfade finds out something small about Icicle Speck that Icicle Speck had lied about before. Foxclaw and Inkfeather plan all their days together. Ghostfeather hears a nice story about Quillrunner. Between Foxclaw and Inkfeather, I think that's another like mother-son bonding. Let's see, Freezekid is letting Frostfade share his troubles with him, hoping he'll feel better afterwards. And that's all we have for the event, so let's wrap up here and resume with the cat list. Okay, let's continue with the cat list. So just a quick reminder on our loyalties over here. Now, in terms of relationships, I noticed one change, and that was actually, unsurprisingly, with Quillrunner. So we're going to take a look at his relationship panel, because he has like a bar and a half, or a bar and a bit, of romance with Inkfeather. Which is completely new. And I don't know, he's loyal and she's loyal. Actually, maybe, now that I'm seeing their traits, maybe Quillrunner kind of sees Inkfeather's loyalty to King Fernstar, and he kind of finds that admirable, because he sees a bit of himself in Inkfeather. That could be a possibility, why there's a bit of a crush developing there. But as you can see, he is in love with Icicle Speck. However, Icicle Speck doesn't return these feelings, I think. Or at least he's not nearly as interested in Quillfeather. Icicle Speck is in love with Shining Stripe. And, they have a very long and complicated history within even their own pairing. But this is, something that's going on. Maybe Quillrunner, he's in love with Icicle Speck, but these feelings aren't necessarily returned to the same degree. And then he's seeing Inkfeather, who's kind of going through the same thing with Fernstar, and he feels a bit of kinship with her. That could be it. And then we know he has that little bit of a bar and a half with Magpie. I think from before Magpie had Freezekid, she was just, a new cat, a new female, and I think that she intrigued Quillrunner. But, interesting. That's a change that I've noticed between these guys. Okay, so that aside, we obviously don't have any matchmaking to do. Let's see what all the cats are doing for the day. King Fernstar called an important clan meeting recently. Maybe he called a clan meeting to tell the cats to keep an eye out for potential servants and outsiders, because they know that they're having a bit of a gender crisis. Icicle Speck is recalling an old story that might inspire the clan in tough times. Inkfeather is checking up on the warriors. Shining Stripe is soaking in the new leaf warmth. Flare Freckle purrs as a cool breeze hits her. Bear Pelt brags about how great a hunter he is. Magpie is eavesdropping on King Fernstar. We know that she doesn't really trust him, or, she's not a loyalist. Quill Runner is playing a prank on Flailstorm. Frostfade doesn't want to go on Dusk Patrol. Foxclaw is fetching Scorch Moss for another cat who is looking for her. Ghostfeather is in awe of King Fernstar's leadership, and yeah, he is a devout loyalist, so that makes sense. Scorch Moss is giving advice to the younger cats. Flailstorm saw a kitty pet rolling around a two-leg garden. Freeze Kit is telling Flailstorm a story. So, he's hanging out. He was spending time with his mother, and now he's hanging out with his father. So it seems as though Freeze Kit has a really good bond with his parents, which makes me happy. But okay, that is what we have for the cat list. Let's wrap up here and continue with patrols. Okay, we currently have 58.7 prey and we need 34, so we don't have to worry about hunting. But we are continuing with our patrols. We're going to send out Inkfeather, our royal physician, first off, to see what she can find. Inkfeather heads out into the territory to stock up on cobwebs, something the clan never seems to have enough of. Proceed. Overtired from caring for her patients all day and night, the only cobwebs Inkfeather manages to collect are the ones she accidentally walked into. Okay, didn't manage to grab much, and we are going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 3. I'm grateful because it means Ghostfeather is no longer going to be sent out on his own. So let's see what Icicle Speck, the king's right hand, decides for patrols. Okay, so first up we have Flare Freckle, Ghostfeather, King Fernstar, Magpie, Bearpelt, and Foxclaw. So let's see what they get up to. The patrol devolves into ghost stories, putting everyone on edge. Proceed. Despite the tense mood, the patrol is successful, and as the afternoon wears on, the cats relax with each other. So this was more of a bonding trip than anything else. And then we have Frostfade, his brother Quill Runner, and Icicle Speck. So let's see what they get up to. As the patrol heads out into the forest to hunt, Quill Runner seems to be absolutely unconcerned with his duties, instead ambling along as though the prey is going to waltz into his paws. Okay, I mean, we know Quill Runner's in love with Icicle Speck, so maybe he's feeling a little bit cocky and trying to show off. Proceed. Quill Runner makes it look easy, and when the patrol is done mousing, everyone else ends up carrying catches mostly brought down by him. He leads the way back to camp, sauntering with a distinctly smug sway of his hips. A medium amount of prey is brought to camp. Okay, I mean, good on you. Good on you, Quill Runner, that you got to show off and kind of, display your skills to the cat you're in love with. Maybe he's going to finally look at you a bit differently and give some attention your way, especially with his own relationship with Shining Stripe deteriorating somewhat. So a medium amount of prey is brought to camp. We now have 85.7 food, which is great because we don't have to worry about these cats going hungry. And it's an abundant time. It's an abundant time. But okay, guys, it was a much shorter episode than last time, but things are going well. Some unexpected turns and twists, but things are going well for the most part. But with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.